Today we'll be unboxing the android that just wanted to be a real boy on Rip It Open with Newman. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Newman, and today we'll be unboxing Lieutenant Commander Data from EXO 6 Toys. Created in 1987 by Gene Roddenberry, DC Fontana, and Dr. Nguyen Sung, Data is an android serving in Starfleet aboard the Starship Enterprise. Most often holding the rank of Lieutenant Commander, Data possesses mega strength, super intelligence, and the ability to interface with most computer systems. Despite his incredible abilities, all Data has ever really wanted was to become human. The character has been portrayed by actor Brent Spiner for over 30 years, spanning several movies and television shows. So folks, this week we're going to be breaking from tradition a little bit, and we're getting out of the 1/12 scale into the 1/6 scale. We're going to be starting off with one of my favorite characters from one of my favorite childhood shows, Data from Star Trek: The Next Generation. Brought to life by EXO 6 Toys. Now, this will be my first EXO 6 toy and my first Star Trek: The Next Generation 1/6 scale figure. I hope to collect the entire cast, including Q, which will be in a later video this week. Hopefully Geordi LaForge should be coming out pretty soon. I was expecting it to come out at the same time as Data, but not quite. I recently just pre-ordered Captain Picard. I'm not quite sure when that's coming out, but I am looking forward to it. This company has several Star Trek characters, but I'm only going to be focusing on the Next Generation. Before we go ahead and rip this box open, let's go ahead and take a look at the box art. Now, the front, we've got an image of the figure with some logos. On the side, we've got his shoulder and a little bit more logo. Turning towards the back, we've got the figure details, all of his accessories, as well as all of the legalese. On this side, we've got the entire Star Trek: The Next Generation cast, including Q. No Guinan or Tasha Yar, unfortunately. And here on the top, we've got one last Star Trek logo with good old Captain Picard. Alright, so let's go ahead and take this cover off so we can take a look at the figure itself in box. And here we have it. Data. In the, well, not flesh. Synthetic flesh? Plastic. He's plastic. This is a toy after all. Alright, so I'm really excited to go ahead and get this opened up, so let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and change positions and take a closer look at this figure. Now, editor's note, Star Trek Deep Space Nine is actually my favorite Star Trek show, but Star Trek: The Next Generation was what got me in to Star Trek in general. It was my gateway drug, if you will. Alright, now finally getting him out of the package. He is nice and secure with a whole bunch of plastic, and the plastic around his hands is super secure. In fact, I actually had to take him off screen to try and figure out how I was going to do this. I wound up using my X-Acto knife to get this plastic off. Alright, there we go. And now here we have them. Now, okay, well that won't do now, will it? It looks like I'll have to go ahead and adjust one more time. I am doing a review and unboxing on more than just his torso. Alright, there we go. Much better. So let's go ahead and take a look at this figure. And I think this looks really good. I think this is a really good likeness of Brent Spiner as Data. This looks really good. The sculpting is A+, from eyes to lips to nose to hair texture. The hands are really good as well, but the likeness to Brent Spiner is very good. He looks very well proportioned. The paint detailing is very good, no slop whatsoever. Paint detail in the eyes, the eyebrows, and the lips are A+. Quite frankly, I think my camera is doing this figure a disservice. Because if you could hold this thing in your hand and look at it in person, you could see just how well scaled this is to actual Brent Spiner. Now, before we go on, let's go ahead and go over the articulation. So his arms go up to about there. I think they could go further, but the uniform restricts it a little bit. We've got double jointed elbows, which are very nice, very good. Let's see if we can get any articulation in the bicep, and it feels like there is a bicep swivel in here. So that's awesome. All right, that's great. All right, and the left arm is good as well. Okay, and the wrist can go all the way around. Excellent. And there is a nice flex up and down. You know, I'm always a little nervous with these 1/6 scale figures. I don't want to manhandle them like I do a 1/12 because they're so pricey. I mean, this one wasn't super expensive. It's not Hot Toys expensive, but it's still up there. We've got a ab crunch, which is very nice. Oh, his shirt rises up a little bit. We've got double jointed knees, which are very good. All right, very good here as well on the left. We've got, let's see, looks like there is maybe a thigh cut, I think. Yeah, it feels like there, or it might be twisting up at the hip. Nope, sorry, yeah, there is a thigh cut at the upper thigh. And there's no boot cut, which I don't think is necessary, but the ankles do go all the way around. So the ankles are very good. You know, it should bother me that that shirt for the uniform rides up like that, but you know, they would ride up in the live action too. Google the Picard maneuver. There's also some good articulation in the neck. It's in the lower neck. There's no articulation where the jaw meets the neck, but it's at the base of the neck where the neck meets the shoulders, which I'm glad because it doesn't break up the sculpt and make them look kind of bobbly heady. Also, the uniform is fantastic. The fabric is very good. It looks exactly like the fabric from the television show. We've got his commander pips on his collar, which look nice, and the insignia, the Star Trek logo on his comm badge is also very good. And just like the show, they've got the zipper on the back, which I find funny. You know, it's only the extras that have the zippers on the front of their uniform, because I guess, you know, wardrobe and makeup is like, I'm not going to dress you. You're not a star. Go dress yourself. But all in all, a fantastic figure. This is really nice, especially for the price too. All of those joints are smooth as butter. It's very well balanced. As you can see, he's standing very nicely without a crotch grabber. And yeah, it's fantastic. So let's go ahead and take a look at his accessories. First up, there's a pouch for his tricorder. Next up is the tricorder itself. Now, as I stated before, I tend not to read the directions before opening up these boxes. I like to kind of fumble my way through things. And I'm trying to figure out how, like, what's the deal with this? I didn't know how this was supposed to attach, but then, oh, okay, it's magnetic, but I think it's supposed to fold out. So, okay, it fits in the tricorder pouch very well. That's nice. But what I didn't realize, well, you'll see down the line. Anyway, here's the phaser. Looks really good. We've got an extra set of hands. One for the tricorder and one for the phaser, it looks like. And now we have a holster for the phaser. Let's go ahead and put that in. And yep, pops right in very nicely. Nice and snug. And here is the platform base to display the figure. It looks like a, what do you call it? A teleporter pad. This is very nice. So we're going to take this plastic off. And me, oh my, it is shiny. Got some high gloss going on here. And next up, we've got a alternate pad for the stand. The crotch grabber. I should probably stop saying that. I believe that's trademarked by another YouTuber. Now, I guess you could swap that out, but that looks very boring. I'm never going to use that. So let's go ahead and get the crotch grabber right in there. And here, I'm going to go ahead and get my trusty X-Acto knife and get these out here. It looks like these are some sort of holsters of some form or fashion. Again, at this point, I don't know what these are for. Again, I'll try and I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. And lastly, we've got a little card in the form of the computer screens on the bridge, well, pretty much everywhere in the Enterprise, in the Next Generation. This is really nice. These are awesome. I believe the original screens weren't digital. They were just all handcrafted by a guy and his team. I wish I knew the guy's name. I cannot remember. But they would create these placards by hand, which is pretty amazing. Man, I mean, whew, filmmaking must have been hard back in the day before CGI. But I guess CGI is difficult too. So, you know, what am I talking about? And so, yeah, so these holsters are for the little placard card. That's cool. So, more than likely, we can put the placard card in the little holsters. Nope, not that way. Ah, there we go, where it's nice and tight. And these should clip on to this, to the base. So we can put this in the front, when we display our figure, which would be very nice. All right, and there's a nice tight fit. And then we can put the placard right there. This looks right, doesn't it? I feel like this is 90%. 90% probably right. I don't know what that other piece is for, and I'll never get back to it. Sorry. But hey, what can you say? So the holster and the the holsters, I should say, for the tricorder and the phaser are both magnetic and magnetized right to his waist, which is really cool. That's nice. I always kind of wondered how they did it in the show. I'm sure it was probably just Velcro, because I think that's how they used the communicator badge with Velcro. Because I think I've seen some behind the scenes stills of them with their comm badges off, and there's like a little black Velcro patch there, which is funny. I mean, I guess that could have been magnetic too, or I guess it probably wasn't stable. But anyway, yeah, it looks good. This figure looks good with his accessories on him. Looks quite nice. Looks very good. And look at that. Smooth as butter. Again, these joints are fantastic. They are very good. Let's go ahead and start putting some of these accessories in his hand. Let's start off with the phaser. And all right. Yeah, this is definitely for the phaser. This is the phaser hand. So let's go ahead and swap out the hands. Get this on there. And it's a little difficult to get on there because of the sleeve. That sleeve gets in the way, but that's okay. But we got it in there off screen and through a little editing. And there we go. We got Data ready to bust a cap in you. And see, look, I figured it out. Look, so and it was completely by accident too. I was just messing around with the thing, and I don't know why it didn't come to me sooner. That because it was magnetic, you just have to sort of rearrange the pieces. See, look, it flips. Ain't that crazy? That's fantastic.
Yeah, bitch! Magnets! Oh!
If it was some folding mechanism, you may have to worry about the thing breaking because it's so small. Like, you know, some sort of pin or maybe some sort of, I don't know, like plastic ball joint type deal. But with the magnets, you simply pull it apart and it'll, you know, magnetize right back on. That's pretty clever. I like that. I wonder if the magnet would eventually wear out. I mean, that would be a shame. But I think that's some great construction going on right there. That's a great idea. I love it. So I've got the figure on the stand now, and it looks pretty good. I do like this. This looks all right. I like it. I don't know if I'll have him in this pose. Having a phaser out doesn't really strike me as being very Mr. Data. Let's go ahead and fix his jacket a little bit. It's funny. I mean, I know that this happens in the show, but but the cut of the uniform does kind of limit the articulation. But again, it's not like Data was doing backflips and Spider-Man poses, so you know, how much articulation do you really need? I think this is good. This is adequate. It should only move the same way that the character would move. It would only make sense that way for me. But yeah, looks good. Again, like I said, I probably won't have him with the phaser out. More than likely it'll be with the tricorder, or he'll just be sort of stationary. I might have all the figures, which I have the entire lineup, posed in some sort of group shot similar to how they would appear in, you know, in those cast photos that you would see that they would take every season. Also, one thing of note that I didn't really point out in a close-up, but the way that the bottom of his pants are cut, how there's a little V that's on top of the boot, that was exactly how it was in the show. That's some incredible attention to detail. There's actually a little strap beneath his boots extending to the pants. Like you might be able to see him in that shot just a little bit. Either way. But yeah, there's a little strap so that the pants stay relatively stationary. So I know I was saying that Data isn't really Mr. Action Hero, but I do want to see how well he looks in a action position, because we are going to get some characters in this line who are very actiony, such as Worf and to a certain extent Riker. And hey, you know, Picard too. Picard got down. He was Worf's Chadish. So I am interested in seeing how well you can get these figures into an action pose, because I'm sure that the relative structure, I mean, the body types are going to differ, obviously, because all of the characters' heights differ. But the body structure, I'm sure, is going to be relatively the same, as is the uniform. Again, it's a very restrictive uniform, much like the show. So it's not like it's a knock against the figure. So I am interested in seeing how an action pose would look in this sort of Star Trek body. And you know what? Hey, it looks good. It looks normal. It doesn't look too absurd. It looks like a human character would be able to do this. Fantastic. Okay, final thoughts. I think this is a wonderful figure. It looks good. The playability is surprisingly good. The accessories are good. I didn't get the deluxe version. I got the bare bones model. I don't really need all those accessories. I usually never do. All those accessories usually just wind up going in a box somewhere. But I think this is a fantastic figure. From head to toe. Just wonderful. This is my first experience with EXO 6. And I gotta say, it was a good experience. I know Hot Toys has a very good reputation. So I don't really know much about EXO 6. But they look as to be in the same vein as Hot Toys. I typically don't like to watch any other people's reviews or read any reviews. I might look at like how many stars a particular figure has if it's been out for a while and say it's on Amazon, just so I can get a feel for it so I don't feel like I'm wasting my money. But I don't like to look at reviews or read reviews because I don't want my opinion to be tainted in any way. So I can, you know, unfilteredly say that this is a great figure. I think this is fantastic. I got mine via pre-order from Big Bad Toy Store. I've actually had it for quite a bit of time. I've been sitting on this video and I finally decided to roll it out because my Q figure just recently came in, also from Big Bad. I would definitely recommend this figure. Unfortunately, it is sold out on Big Bad Toy Store, both the deluxe version and the stripped down version, which is a shame. A lot of these Star Trek figures that EXO has done are sold out. So I can only imagine that you would just have to look on the aftermarket. Hopefully the prices aren't too absurd. It's really unfortunate, but because this figure is so good, I was considering trying to get all of the figures for the Deep Space Nine line that they're doing. Again, like they're kind of pulling characters from different universes, like the Kelvin universe or the Abrams universe, and different timelines, Next Generation, Picard, Voyager, so on and so forth. And they do have a few figures for Deep Space Nine. However, on Big Bad Toy Store, I believe Quark is sold out. It's one of the main characters that are sold out that maybe just think, oh, well, maybe next time. I don't think I can get this because I don't really want to pay a huge amount. And already I'm going to be spending quite a bit of money on just the Next Generation. Do I really need Deep Space Nine? The answer is yes. Yes, of course I do. But I don't have the money for it. So unless I come into some money, I believe Deep Space Nine is just going to have to be a nice little dream of mine. First world problems, am I right? But back to the main point, this is a great figure. Get it if you can. If you can, I'm sorry, because it's fantastic if you're a fan of Star Trek. EXO 6, you get a gold star. Alright folks, so that's going to wrap everything up. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Hit the bell for notifications, and I will check you later.